Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So, excuse me, we are still working on the Winter Blues journal, and I had done a video in the last one that you guys seen. We were, what did we create? I'll find it eventually. Okay, so maybe I won't. Okay, so in the last video, we created this flippy floppy fold out thing. And I went on to do some more stuff the next day, thinking that I was recording. I don't know if I wasn't, I don't know, but it didn't record. There was no video. So I will just kind of, I don't even know what all I done. I don't know that I done much more. So I think we done this on camera. I remember seeing that. We done this on camera, or at least the pocket. So maybe I didn't do that much. I don't know. Let me see. Maybe I done, oh, I think I did do, because I done that. Okay, yes, this is what I done on it. So in the kit, it comes with some envelope templates and that kind of stuff. So I had printed one of the envelopes on some coffee dyed paper. And so what I've done is I cut that out. And so this actually tucks right behind there and it stays closed. I have glued it down as a pocket, but I did not glue the envelope. So they, whoever receives this is all journaling space. And so all you have to do is just close it right back up. And so that's like a little hidden journaling space. And I've just put a journal card behind there. Just trying to see what all I may have done in here. Okay, so I added a tuck here. And then I had made a shaker card. I just took 2 pieces of the cardstock. I just cut a circle out. I put some of the little glitter in there. And then just a little tag. And this right here, how I get those lines on the back of that, it's very difficult. It's just a piece of corrugated cardboard. I've had this like a year and a half. And this is what I use for my lines. So there's that one. And so I've just got it stuck right there. This is on paper. I have some on cardstock that I need to cut out and I can put in here. But I don't want to throw this away, so I use that. Oh yeah, and this was from Melina's Scrap Busters. I don't even remember what she called it. But I had recorded that as well. I forgot. I must have lost 2 videos. And so I've just got that there. This is another one of the envelopes. And so on this one, I just took a circle and glued that down. And I did glue this envelope here so you can put stuff in this envelope. And then just tuck it back down behind that circle and it'll stay closed. Right here, I just done a corner tuck, and I've got a couple of things stuck down in it. I just glued a ticket right there. Here, this was the paper copy of that clock, and all I done was just glued it down. Right here, these are little pockets. Let me see if I can find something to show you. And of course, everything's going to the bottom, so I'll use this. So you can stick stuff in each one of them there. And then, excuse me, right here, this is just a little pocket here. And I want to say, let's see, because I want to say that those are pockets as well. Yep, so there's a pocket, and there's a pocket. And then we have this side tuck here that we can put something in. Then we have a pocket here. And let's see. And I guess that may be all that I've done. Oh no, there's one more. Okay, so this was a circle. Actually, this was the circle that I cut out of that journal card right here. And so I just kind of glued it to the corner there. And so I like the dimension that it gives. And then on this journal card, I done the same thing that I did on the blue one. But when I cut this out, I actually glued it to the front of here. So there's that, and then I done some of the lines on the back of it. So what I think we are at a point now where we can try to start figuring out our spine and getting that situated. Let's take a look at the signatures and figure out how we want them to be. I'm thinking maybe like this, because that would be really cute right there in the front. And then this is dark, light, dark. So I think this is how I want my signatures. Now you can get a good idea of why I do not do my spine to begin with, because you can see I don't have this full yet, and you see how bulked up it already is. So that's one reason why I try to work on all of this before I actually do my spine. So let me get my book here and let me get it how it's going to be. And this is just one way that I kind of judge on how to do my signatures. So I can pull this tight right here and I could get it into a 1-inch signature or 2. But what I do is I just let it kind of just open itself up like this. And then that's how I figure what it's going to be. And so it looks like we could probably get by with a 2-inch spine on this and be okay. So let me make sure I know the size of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're right there at 7. Now let's see if I can find, let me pull this out. I need to get my chipboard. Okay, so I want it at 2 inches is what I said I'm going to do my spine at. And so that I don't waste a whole bunch of this chipboard, I'm just going to cut off a 2-inch piece to begin with, and then I'll cut it at 7. Okay, let me get my good blade out the way. Okay, so this is 2 inches. Okay, now we've still got all of that. And now I'm just going to cut this one at 7 inches. And 7 inches. There we go. I can set this out of the way for right now. I can move my signatures. So this is how it is going to be. And I'm just kind of lining everything up for just a minute. I want to see how it's looking. Just trying to, I want it as even as possible. I'm just using the camera up there to And I think that looks pretty even. So what I'm going to do, because that's how I think I want it, I am actually going to get some washing, and I'm going to take that down very carefully. And I leave the washi on because it's not going to, that's exactly what I did not want to do. See guys, see what I do? Yeah, I leave the washi on though because it's not going to affect the thickness of the journal any. And it just helps for when I do stupid stuff like that. Let's see if I can do this one without moving it. And I still moved that one. I think I have it down now though. Hopefully I do. We shall find out, won't we? Hang on one second, guys. Okay, guys, sorry about that. Okay, so now what I need to do is I need to not drop everything off my desk. All right, I'm just going to get some Tyvek. Y'all know I love to put Tyvek down in my journals. It just makes me feel like they have a little bit more stability. I'm gonna, because I've got that tape pretty good, so I'm gonna turn this sideways. Now, the one thing with this mat I am using right now is I have to be careful because I normally just tape it down onto the mat and then just pull it up. But I'm trying to not use my dirty mat all the time. So I don't know how it's going to work out, but I'm trying. Okay, so we've got that on there. Okay, and so that's looking pretty good. All right, so now the next thing is the fabric. And I think I've already got some. I think I am going to go with this cream colored muslin because that's not a true white. And what I need to do is figure out how wide I want it. I bet if I cut it like that, I bet that would be perfect. But I don't want to waste all of that. So let's see. I'm just going to fold it in half. And we may have to put like something behind it because, you know, this muslin is thin. And if we have to put something behind it, we can. Okay, so I think if I cut it here, I will have plenty. And now I'm just wondering, I'm wondering if I should take a piece of muslin and just go ahead and put that on there for right now. Because I don't care if the blue shows through. I just don't want that Tyvek showing through. Or I could take a piece of coffee dyed paper. Let's just see what we can do with the muslin. Okay, so if I put that piece there, that'll be fine. All right, so let's do that. Let's see if I can cut that strip, if that's long enough. No, it needs to be a little bit longer than that. I don't normally use muslin as the only fabric when I'm doing something like this, but I figured I would try it. I love the look of it, and I think this will work. Oh, and my nails are really about to get messed up now. I had done my nails so cute because of the holidays, and then I got in here and started crafting, and well, you guys know how that goes. And now that I've got the Fabri-Tac back out, there they go. You know, they're not gonna, but it's okay. It is perfectly fine. You know what I could have done? I could have done some gesso. And I probably should have. But we will take a look and see if it shows through. I have a wet wipe somewhere right here. Okay, there we go. Now let's just take a look. Let me just put a layer over it and just see. No, that's going to be perfectly fine. Okay, so now let's just trim this off. Normally I would just fold it over, but I'm not going to worry about folding it tonight. Okay. So now I'm just going to take this. Now I need to figure out how wide I truly want this. And I'm not real sure. So I'm just folding it like this so that I don't have as big of a piece to wrestle with. So it's about 1 inch. So I think I can come like right here. And normally when I try and cut like this, I normally end up with it looking like a rainbow or something for some reason. Probably will this time too because it looked like I got off. It's not real bad. Let's see. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Let's try and trim that up just a little bit. And you know what I need to do? I need to stop messing and just do it. This is when my OCD gets me. Okay. So let's do this. I'm going to take a ruler and I'm hoping I can cut straight on a line. And I'm going to draw, even though it's with a marker, it'll be okay. And I'm just drawing where I need to cut. And hopefully that will keep me on track. No guarantees. But we're gonna try it. So if I'm not talking, it's because I'm having to hold my tongue the right way to be able to cut like this. Okay, hopefully that's got it. If it don't, we're leaving it, because we can cover the edge up with some lace, because we are going to do that. Like my daddy says, cut it off 3 times and it's still too short. All right, so we have that done. And let's see how bad it is. It's actually pretty good. So what I want to do is I am going to start on the front side. And I'm going to glue some down. Look at that. That's okay though. I'm going to glue some down, and then we will work our way to the back. And I'm just trying to make sure I've got it all right where I want it. And I do. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just trying to see what piece is straighter for the front. I think I like that. Not that. Right there. Okay. So now let's go ahead and put some glue down. I am using my Fabri-Tac. Y'all know I like my Fabri-Tac, especially in stuff like this. I mean, Fabri-Tac is pretty much my all-time preferred, but even more so when you're gluing stuff like this. Now this muslin is thin, and we may see the glue, and if we do, and if it's too bad, we can come back on top of it with a thicker material. I have plenty of material. And if we do, this just gives it a little bit more stability. So I'm not real stressed over it. I'm thinking this muslin is just too thin all the way around, because I can see the cardboard. We'll see what it does before we go to sew a signature or anything in. So I'm just scraping the glue really good. Just want to make sure I have good coverage. And I'm just pulling it tight on some of those spots there. Okay, and I didn't put any additional right there. But I don't think that's going to really show. Okay, let me cut this off before I start gluing anything. So we don't need that fringe on there. Alright, so let's go ahead and glue. I'm going to cut this where I need it to be cut as well. I want it to overlap just a little bit. And now I'll glue this down. So I want it to overlap some, and I want to have plenty of glue coverage. So now I'm just going to fold this up, and I'm just going to work the glue as I'm doing it. So all I'm doing, just working the glue. I'm just guaranteeing that I have maximum coverage by doing this. Take that glue on out as far as it'll go. Okay, we got a little bit to glue down right here. Perfect. And then we have a little bit right here. Excuse me. And now we need to glue this down. Looks like I need more acetone in my glue. Alright, so I just want to keep it straight. So I'm doing the same thing, just working that glue down to make sure it goes all the way to the end. And so I need some glue. And I'm just putting some more glue down there. Alright, I think we've got it. We've got it good enough for right now. So what we need to do is, I think I actually like that. Now we need to figure out what we're going to do for this middle part here. And I'm thinking that I don't know what I've done with the paper. Hang on one second. I see it. Grab it. I'm almost thinking that's too much glue. This is some more of my digitals, just different. I'm wondering how this one would look in it. This is out of the Sweet Moments collection. I think I like that. It's just enough to give it that brown, you know, that vintage type feel. I like that. Okay, so let's cut the white off and let's see if it's big enough or if we are going to need to go with like a 12 by 12. Because I want to try and do it, I think, all in, I think I want to do it in one. Or do I? No. So these are 4.5 by 7. Let me just cut this white off and then we can think. I can't think. Guys, I'm telling you, it kills me the way I think and process things sometimes. It's like I go about it the hardest way possible. But in the end, I always get it done, so I guess it's fine. Okay, so that is 4.5 by 7. So I want to cut this at like 4 1/4. And then cut it at like 6 3/4. And then we'll look and see where that puts us. Puts us near about perfect. Okay, so let's do the other one the same. So we need it at 4 1/4. And then 6 3/4. And so what we've done is we've like really broken up that blue, excuse me, by going with this. So I like that, and I think I want the number 1 right there. And I do see I have a little bit of white showing there, so what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of blue ink on it. And I am going to round the corners. Well, y'all got a 2-for-1 special on this. Y'all got to see me use at least 2 of my kits. But I've used elements of the other kits all throughout the journal. Okay, so I like that. So let's go ahead and glue it down. And I should have done the tape, and I didn't even think about it. Would have helped with my nails. But I didn't do it. Okay, so I'm just lining that up as best as I can. And then squeegee it down. Okay. And now over here, we need to round these corners. Okay, so now let's glue this one down. I'm hoping to have this listed in my Etsy store this weekend. I will let you guys know before I list it, so that we can try and keep it fair. And all right, there we go. What do you guys think? Is that looking okay? All right, now we can put this trash out of the way. And we will take a look at what we got so far. So there we are. This is what we have so far. And then we're going to put some lace there and there. I don't know. I was going to put some lace on the inside, but I'm actually liking this. So we'll just see once we get the signatures in. So now, the next thing that I need to do is figure out where I want my 3 signatures. And what I do, and this is not any great, revelation or anything like that, because I don't even know if I'm doing it what most people would say it's right, but this is what works for me. I just take my ruler, and I'm using my center ruler, and I get it centered up, and then I'm going to mark on the 0, and then I'm going to mark on the half to the right and the half to the left. And then I'm just going to move down about what I think is center. And I'm going to do the same thing. It just don't look straight down to me. Okay. Well, I guess it is, so we're going to go with it. So there's our 0, 1/2 inch to the right, 1/2 inch to the left. And then I'm going to do the same thing, just coming on down. And it's going to be at 0, 1/2 inch to the right, 1/2 inch to the left. Okay. So let me get my awl. And what I'll do, excuse me, I'll show you how to do. Don't do this at home, guys. I don't know, I'm goofy and I always do it like this. I'm just taking my awl and poking a hole. Probably what I'll do is do one signature on camera, and then I'll do the rest off camera because we're already like 30 minutes. And once you've seen me sewn in one, you know, they're all the same. And then in the next video, we will be finishing this journal up. I'm not sure how much we will get done, but we will get this journal finished up, and then I'll get it listed in Etsy and let you guys know when. So let's get a signature in. Now, the other thing I do like to do, when I am putting my signatures in, I like to put the last one in first because it just makes it easier to work around. So that's all I'm going to do is start on the last one first. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. Okay. Now, here's where I'm crazy. I know. Because I don't do my journals in the traditional way that everybody does, or, you know, what people think you should. This is how I measure. I take the inside page, I turn it inside out, I line it up about where I want it, and then I just mark where the holes should go. And then I take it, I get the signature back, and then it goes in. I set it down in there just like that. And then normally I don't even clip mine or anything. I just hold real tight in that V. And while I'm holding in the V, I don't close it completely, but I close it to where my awl will come straight up into that center, because that's where I want it to come up. And then just do this one back here. Okay, so we've got that done. Now I need to get thread. And I have been using embroidery floss the last few journals, and I really like it. I think I'll go with the cream colored one, just so maybe it'll blend in a little bit more. Okay, and I hate how they package this. Ugh, kills me. And I use all 6 strands. And so I want the length of each one to be 3 times the height of my book. So that makes 2. Okay, so right in here, this is 3 times the length of my book. Yes, that is way too much, but I'd rather have way too much than not enough. So now I'm just measuring 2 more out, cutting them there, and then cutting right here. All right, and so the next thing I do is I get my needle, And then I use some beeswax. And so I'm going to take one of these, and then I am going to make sure I have a lot of beeswax on it. To me, beeswax is the secret to getting everything to stay in your journal the way you want it. Because this just does not allow that thread or binding to slip. Alright, so now I just need to thread my needle. And the funny thing is, you know, I can hardly see anything. And my husband and I were talking about it last night or night before last. I can thread my sewing machine needles like it is nothing to it. I can do that just about with my eyes closed. And you know how little that is. But these, I have a hard time. Okay, so I'm just going in through my middle hole there. I am finding the last spot, and just one more time, make sure I'm putting it in right. Okay, make sure it's going right. I'm going in the middle spot on the back because I'm starting with my back page. I'm just going up through that middle. I'm going to pull, and I want to leave a little bit of a tail. And then I am going to go back through that hole. And when you're dealing with fabric, a lot of times fabric will heal over on itself. And so it may be difficult to find your hole. But just be patient and you'll get it. Okay, so I went back into the top hole. Now I'm going to go past that middle. And I'm going to stay to the right of that tail. And now I'm going to go in my bottom hole. So I'm in the bottom hole on my book. And now I'm going through the bottom hole on my cover. Now this is the tricky part for me. Is making sure that I do not go through that thread whenever I go back through the hole. And so a lot of times what I will do is, like I said, it's probably not the traditional way to do this, but it's just how it works for me. I will manipulate it, and then I even kind of let the paper get slack. And so it gives me an opportunity to kind of manipulate the signature to get it to go where I want it to go. So I'm just manipulating it a little bit. And so whenever I have it like that, I'm not going to try and force anything. I'll just pull down a little bit. And then just let it get right there like that. And I'm still staying out of the other fibers there. Because you definitely do not want to go through it. Almost done. And there's quicker ways that you can do it. I mean, I've seen people that can just, excuse me, just stick the needle straight through. Now, if I had done my holes bigger, it wouldn't be no problem. But I don't really want to make my holes any bigger. So, all right. So now I just pull that needle off. Now I'm going to take my thread. And I'm going to pull it tight. And make sure that you have one tail on each side of that center. And when you're sure that you do and it's tight like you want it, then you can tie you a double knot in it. You can tie a bow in it, you can do whatever, but I just do a double knot. And then a lot of times I will leave the strings hanging because at this point I honestly don't know what I'm going to do with them. Okay, so guys, I'm going to call that done for now. I'm going to go ahead and finish sewing these signatures in. And when we come back, hopefully it will be time to finish this journal. So I shall talk to you guys later. Bye.